We have a few participants, all right. I'm not going to turn my recording on. I guess I am. I'm going to leave it. Good morning, everybody. Okay. Need to, I don't know why I'm in Moodle. I don't mean to be in Moodle. Not do it. Draw. Seriously? It's a good thing I brought my phone. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, we'll need that. We're gonna need this. Everybody got a calculator? Or your phone? I mean, it's not big calculations, but like you're gonna need a calculator today. Okay. And Zoom people, I am going to share my screen, hopefully. Screen share. Share it. I want to see my chat. Good morning. Yes, yes. Yes, Hannah, that's good. Okay. So we'll just do that. And then I need, like so many different things I need to set up. We need the clicker. Oh, that's not it. Come on, clicker. There we go. Just took it a second. This is so much more comfortable. So nice. And I normally wear glasses, so I haven't worn contacts for a really long time. I'll tell you a contact story if you want to hear it. Some people already know my contact story. But
they would know what?
What?
They would know where how you get like an out. How you get an outlet to charge my phone because like I charge my calculator because I lost mine.
I don't know what the charger is on that. You could probably get on the TI website and you could probably order one, or even Amazon would probably have one. But I used to wear glasses all the time, and the coronavirus has prompted me to get contacts, and I love them again. But I remember why I stopped wearing them. I stopped wearing them because I was really bad about taking them out. You know, anybody have that problem? and I leave them in for way too long. And I woke up one night and my eye was hurting, and I was like, "Oh, there must be something in my contact." So I just got up and I pulled it out, and I went back to bed. And when I woke up in the morning, I couldn't look at light at all. Like it was super painful, and I mean, it was terrible. And so I had to emergency go to the eye doctor. And so he like puts some dye in my eye, looks at mine. He goes, he says, so you ripped off the top layer of your cornea. I was like, oh. He was like, when you wake up in the night, you need to put contact solution in your eyes and wait 5 to 10 minutes before taking out your contacts. So if you're wearing contacts, put solution before you take it out. There must have been something in there, and then it felt so much better to get it out, you know, that I didn't feel like I was ripping the top layer of my cornea off. So note to self, use contact solution. Is y'all's refat telling you how to pay a subscription? Yes, you should, if you got on it and you didn't pay the subscription, you have to use the link. I kind of feel like taking my contacts out. Yeah, I know. I slept in my contacts last night and I woke up and I was like, oh my God. So I'm going to try to be better about that. But so back to the Reef app, if you, and I'm not on the screen, so y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. But somebody asked, is y'all's Reef app telling y'all to pay a subscription? And the answer is yes, but don't pay the full price. In the syllabus, I put you a link to a subscription for $5. It's like 17 or something like that normally. But if you do the link, it's only $5. Okay, and I'm supposed to be starting class already. Y'all, look, I'm chit-chatting. And start class, Dr. B. It looks sort of empty today. So we're missing a bunch of people today. So I'm going to go ahead and do an attendance real quick. If I could do for beginning.
I'm literally, I was on my way, so I just grabbed it. I'm pretty sure. And then I saw more, and I was like, no, I don't have time.
Let's get to class. Okay, so your attendance is rolling, and I'll leave that rolling. Is it rolling? It is not rolling. Now it's rolling. And I really want to see how many people are here, so because we're going to do a lot of clicker today. Did y'all find that useful last time we did it? So I kind of feel like what I thought was going to be a quick refresher of introductory chemistry stuff was not so much of a quick refresher. It's something that you probably need a little more help with. And y'all aren't 6 feet apart. I don't know what happened to labels, but would you just grab another seat somewhere? I'm gonna have to figure out what happened with that. But okay, so I feel like it wasn't a refresher. I feel like it was, gosh, I haven't seen that in a really long time and I don't remember that very well. Is that a pretty accurate estimation?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So with that in mind, I went ahead and built a bunch of clicker questions with math, with things that I thought were going to be review, but should give you some practice applying. So today is basically, that's all I've got is clicker questions. So it's practice, but we're going to talk about each one and I'm going to explain why after every single one. So hopefully that'll knock out all of our misconceptions and we'll all be on the same track again. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Good. All right. So I'm going to stop this poll. So we have 55 people. Okay. So I'm going to stop this. And I'm going to try to close this and come back here. This thing needs to go away. Hide. Okay. All right. So take out your calculators. Get ready to do some calculations. The first one's not a calculator, but you do need your calculations out. All right. Here we go. So chapter 2, iClicker. I feel like this is good practice and everybody gets a chance to try it out. And remember, not worth points. So do the best you can, but don't freak out. How does this go away? Okay, that's not what I wanted. All right. Okay, here we go. Conversion of CO2 to organic compounds by a wide variety of organisms is referred to as what? So I'm waiting for about 55 responses. Oh, and I wanted my chat. Where's my chat? Okay. Solutions. Chemistry said. All right, solutions. I like that. Oh, we got 58. So somebody wasn't able to check in. Okay, so 58. So I'm going to stop here. And what did we say? Oh, so we're debating between, this is kind of what I thought would happen, between carbon fixation and photosynthesis. What is the actual definition of photosynthesis?
Conversion of light energy into glucose.
Correct. Conversion of light energy into glucose. So when we talk about just converting CO2 to organic compound, does that mean that we're going to use photosynthesis to do it? Not necessarily. If we had said something about using light to facilitate the conversion of carbon dioxide to organic compounds, then yes. But this is just converting, okay? So be careful about that. All right, let's do this. Reduced molecules become blank upon donating an electron in a redox reaction. So I'm waiting on 58, but I'm calling it at 1 minute. Okay, 58. All right, let's see what we said. Reduced molecules become oxidized. That is correct. Reduced molecules become oxidized. So that's the whole point behind redox reactions, right? Is that a reduced molecule becomes oxidized. An oxidized molecule becomes reduced through the transfer of electrons, right? So they convert from one to the other so that you can go back and forth within the reactions. Let me see. That was me. Okay. All right. Thank you for leaving that in the chat. Send me that in an email, Francis. Send me that in an email so I can mark you as present. Okay. Let's see. Given equal masses, the same number of moles of a compound, which phase of matter has the greatest entropy? Which phase of matter has the greatest entropy?
Entropy is in like.
Have to know the definition of entropy. It's one of the things we covered. And not confuse entropy and enthalpy. Somebody have music going?
That's welcome back.
It's what?
Welcome back.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's probably the radio station, like.
I was like, I know I'm not that entertaining, but golly. All right, we need one more response. Come on, click something. Don't ever leave an answer blank for me. That's a good point. I don't ever want you to leave anything blank. Okay, so a gas has the most entropy. Ooh, that's not really circling it, but tell me why. Tell me why.
Because it's disorder.
So entropy is disorder. What's the symbol for entropy? S. Entropy is S. Think Dr. Sarah Bergeron. She's got crazy entropy. She cannot stand to be right here. That's the S, right? I want to be more disordered. I'm really tending towards disorder, but it's...
We also, the entire universe tends to, hey man, that's, you say so, that's like one of the laws of thermodynamics.
That's right.
The entire universe tends to be more toward
disorder.
Favor disorder.
That's right. We like to be disordered. We don't like this ordered state where we're in right now. We don't. Nobody does. We like to be disordered. We like to hang out. We like to meet our friends, talk to our friends, right?
Sorry, every Friday not being ordered before. No one listens to you.
That's right. So, which phase of matter has the greatest entropy? The one with the most movement, and that would be gas. Okay. Now, here's a little more complicated. We're moving up. right? Which of the following biochemical reactions are endergonic? No, I saw some eyebrows raised. Yes, in higher motion, yes.
So we only have to choose one of them.
Correct. Well, you can only choose one. You can only choose one.
I know, I'm just saying, like, one, like, if there are two correct answers, we only have to choose one.
Correct.
Oh, thanks, that's all I wanted to know.
Correct. Okay, so 1 minute. I'm calling it. Everybody ring in. Okay. So what did we say? Okay, good, good, good. We're halfway between C and D, and that is correct. So let me mark them. I always forget to do that. So the question is why? Can you explain why?
Because the positive is them gaining energy, whereas the negative is them.
Be careful about saying gain.
I mean, not gaining energy,
It requires energy
It requires it.
to proceed. So if you have a standard free energy, right? That's what delta G is.
Whereas the negative it means they're releasing energy.
That is
Means
correct.
that, and it's easier to let them go than it is to hold.
So if it's endergonic, you're going to actually have to put energy in to make that reaction happen inside of the cell. So is it favorable or unfavorable?
It's unfavorable.
It is unfavorable. It does.
Favors disorder.
That's correct. Okay. So let's try another one. All right. Which statement best describes the relationship between anabolic and catabolic pathways? It's in my chat. I need to like put it somewhere where I can see it. There we go. At least I got some good music. Everybody at home who can't hear it is like, what is she doing? Okay, one more. One more. Okay, so what do we get? Ooh, we're divided, right? It is C. It is C. So when we talk about catabolic, when you think catabolic, give me one term to define catabolic. One thing. Breakdown. Breakdown. What about anabolic? Build, right? So if you can remember those two things, you should be able to figure this out. So catabolic, converting energy-rich compounds into energy-depleted. That's what we want. We want to break things down. Like we want to break down that hamburger that we're going to have for lunch into energy that we can use inside of the cell. So that's catabolic. Whereas anabolic is using compounds high in energy for biosynthesis, right? I remember it via catabolic catastrophe. Oh, that's a good way to remember it.
I was going to go cataclysm, but that works too.
Cataclysm, yeah. Oh, what was the other one? Cataclysm or catastrophe? Yeah, either one's good. Remember those C's. Why is B not right? It's backwards, right? It's backwards. Okay. All right. So what's our other hint? Anabolic. I remember it's anabolic steroids. But how does that help you remember the building, Cameron? You know. I remember anabolic steroids. Oh, because they make you get builder. Okay. I get it. Well, no, but like this stuff, when you do these things in your mind, you're gonna remember it. You're always gonna remember it.
Exactly.
Cam has huge microphone. But you're gonna remember this. I do this all the time. I make a little story out of things to remember, all that kind of stuff.
Hell, that's how I figured out all the classifications in biology.
Yeah, you make a little story out of it. I do it all the time.
He's out for good students.
You know, I'm a terrible speller, so I actually, when I had to remember how to spell America, I had to make myself a little mnemonic device to spell America. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but at this age, I am still using my little thing every time I write the word.
I mean, it's the same thing as banging Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
That's right. That's right. Okay, let's try another one. All right. At standard conditions, a biochemical reaction has a KEQ, so K of equilibrium, of 4,000. The reaction favors the blank. Getting close, we've got 55. I'm calling it at a minute, so if you don't ring in, I'm still calling it. Okay, so what did we say? Oh, really? Okay, what's the general formula for equilibrium? Is the concentration of all the products over reactants. Products over reactants. So if you are at 4,000, that's a huge number. If K is 4,000, in order to get that big of a number, are all the numbers in the products bigger or all the numbers in the reactants bigger? This is hugely favoring the products.
So basically because it's bigger.
Because the P, the products, is a bigger value than R. That's what a KEQ of greater than 1 is going to tell you, that you're going to favor the products. If you just remember this simple, K is equal to P over R. If you write that down, you can use that to answer questions, right? And just kind of keep that in mind. Okay?
So
All right.
bigger P equals their product.
Yep.
And bigger
R
R.
is favoring the reactants. Did I mark that one? Oh, right. Oh. No. Thank you. Okay, this one, get your calculator out. Oh, I have to erase for everyone? Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I don't want all that writing on your screen when I take a picture of it. Okay.
But where's the other thing? We always see I always see 4,000. Where's the other number?
Well, you have to think about it. So what is the change in free energy of this reaction at standard conditions, which has a KEQ of 4,000? So you have to remember, now you're sitting in front of your computers, you're sitting in front of your notes. Can you use them? Absolutely. I would highly recommend it to figure out what formula to use and what hint standard conditions means. So I'll give you an extra time on this one. I know you're doing math on it. So, yes, sir. Oh, I forgot about that. Because I learned this lesson yesterday and I still forgot it in 24 hours, that you can't click. If you have a handheld clicker, you can't do it. So let me stop this. And I want to put it as a numeric answer, but I know if you have a handheld clicker, you won't be able to do it. So just write down your answer and see how you do. I'm going to hide my chat in case people put it in the chat. I don't want everybody looking at the answer. So I know, just Write it down, just for practice.
Wait, what? Sorry, what did you say?
So if you have the iClicker Reef app, you can type in a number, but if you have the handheld clicker, you can't. You can only do A, B, C, D, E, which I didn't realize until yesterday. A learning experience for me. So if you just have the handheld clicker, just write it down on a sheet of paper. It's okay. Does it matter how many significant figures? That's a good question. Not today, no. Not today, but yes, it should. So, somebody said they were buffering. If it doesn't work, Hannah, don't worry about it. Just write down your answer, and we'll just check it that way. It's okay. It says numeric at the very bottom. Okay. I don't know what it looks like on your. Well, Hannah, you could just follow along on the Zoom. I'm sorry, clicker's not working. And at least it's not worth points. Okay. So raise your hand in the classroom if you need more time, because I can't tell. Okay, so about another minute. Cameron, oh, you can raise your hand. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so on Zoom, you can raise your hand too. Learning new things every day. So I'm going to call it at 4.5 minutes. At 4.5 minutes, I'm going to call it. Okay, so I think we'll end up getting a ton of different answers. A ton of different answers. Okay, so you should have used the Ratlink equation.
Oh my God.
Okay, so that's our Gibbs free energy is equal to negative RT ln of Q. What you had to figure out was what is T at standard conditions? What's T? 298, it's room temperature, right? Then you had to know what is R. There are two different R's. There's the energy R, there's the gas law R, right? So you had to know it's the energy.
Okay, this thing is.
And then K is the 4,000.
Okay, this thing just went from 0 to 100. That just went from 0 to 100. Literally from there.
Okay, so does this make sense that we get a delta G of negative?
No, it does not.
It does. Well, it does make sense that it's negative, but that's not the reason why.
Oh,
298. It's 273 plus whatever your Kelvin is, Zach. It's 273 plus your plus your Celsius. Okay. So why do we think that this makes sense? Yeah, that's negative. Because under standard conditions, if we go back, right, we said we're going to favor the products,
okay.
right? So this is a reaction that's favorable, okay, in the forward direction. So we are expecting to get a negative value for delta G when we look at that. So one thing that you should kind of keep track of in your mind is my answer plausible? If I had gotten a really big positive number, that should have sent up a red flag. So y'all a lot of times like to plug and chug and not think about the answer. But if you think about the answer, you're going to go, oh, I'm on the right track, or oh, I'm not. And you'll end up getting the right answer more often. So kind of think through your answers before you just do the calculator. Okay.
Go back, please.
Sure. I'm sorry. Go ahead. And y'all know this is on the video. So this is recording, so you can come back to this video at any time.
Let me explain why I don't know. My laptop's up.
Oh, so you have to go to the campus computer labs. Okay, you have to go to the campus computer labs. Okay, so let's try another one. Here we go. I'm trying not to cover the, there we go. Okay. Oh, it's not numeric, it's ABC, multiple choice. Okay. So, Gibbs free energy, standard Gibbs free energy of ATP hydrolysis is negative 30.5 kilojoules per mole. Which of the following reactions are not spontaneous and could be driven by being coupled to ATP, to hydrolysis of ATP? One ATP molecule per individual reaction. So remember we talked about coupling, and this is how it works in the cell. Need an immediate, oh no, darn it. Need an intermediate for coupling. Yes, you do. Dang it. Nobody saw anything. All right, I'm going to call it a minute and a half. So you got 5 seconds. Okay, so what did we say? Okay, so we have 2 correct answers in this case. That is correct. So how did you figure that out? Okay, so which of the following reactions are not spontaneous? So that's the first thing that you had to say. So I have 3 that are not spontaneous. So D is not an answer choice. Okay, now I want to be able to drive these reactions by coupling to ATP hydrolysis. So how'd you figure that out?
Since the delta G of hydrolysis is the negative 30.5, we should make sure that it adds to the positive that's below 0.
That's right. So when you have delta G for multiple reactions, if this is reaction 1, reaction 2, what do you do to find out your goal? GOAL, goal is reaction 3. What do you do with those delta G's? This is delta G1, delta G2. You add them together. And that will give you delta G3. Okay, so when we add them together, this one C won't work because we would end up with a positive 1. So it would still be unfavorable. But these, you would end up with a negative delta G. So either one's correct. Good? Does this help to look at some and then explain? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Oh, and as a side note, who has gone in and practiced on the self-check? I can see some people are using it super effectively. I can see some people spend 6 minutes on it. When we finish with, like, we already finished with chapter 1, so you should go in and be trying to use that self-check for chapter 1, right? Don't try the self-check for chapter 2 until we finish chapter 2. So like after Friday, go in and try self-check for chapter 2, okay? So go ahead and use those. Use those. All right, let's see. Cameron, what did you say? Spent 30 on it. Yeah, yeah, well, 6 minutes is not enough. I can tell you that. 6 minutes is not enough. Oh, I gotta erase all this stuff. I thought it goes away when you change slides, but it does not. Makes me not want to write on it. And you'll have to sit through me erasing things. Oh, they're so patient.
There's not like a clear button.
Okay.
Maybe they're, well, I see an erase button. I don't see a clear button. I don't know. I have to figure that out. It's a good question. Okay. The sodium potassium ATPase hydrolyzes ATP to pump 2 sodium ions inside the cell and 2 potassium ions inside the cell and 3 sodium ions out. This is an example of energy conversion in which the energy from ATP is converted to blank. Let me see what Tristan said. He asked me a question. Well, we have to worry about interpreting if a compound can be intermediate. Well, I told you in class that ATP can be an intermediate. So if we say that it's coupled and it's ATP, you know that ATPs can be used to make an intermediate. But you might be given a situation where could the coupling of these 2 reactions work? And you would have to figure that out. So my answer, Tristan, is yes and no. If I say it's ATP and it's coupled, you can assume it's good. But if it's not ATP, you're going to have to figure it out. Make sense, Tristan? Yep. And I'm still waiting on a few responses on your multiple choice. I'll give y'all until 35, so 5 seconds. Okay, so what do we say? All right, so there was more than one correct answer. B and D are correct. What's the matter? Is that mean to do?
No.
What? Okay, so when we're pumping sodium and potassium ions, right? That's a concentration gradient, right? You're changing the concentration of the different ions, but because they're ions, what can we also call them? They're ions. They have a charge, electrical. So that's how we have all those electrical impulses. That's how your neurons communicate with one another, right? What happens if you don't have enough potassium and you exercise?
You get cramps.
You get cramps. So what do they tell you? Eat a banana, drink pickle juice. Disgusting, but okay.
According to my brother, it also helps hangovers.
That's true. That's true. But you need the right balance of electrolytes. And why? because of the electrical potential. Coconut water. Ooh, coconut water sounds a lot better. I like that much more than pickle juice.
And my other brother also uses that to deal with hangovers.
Okay, so let's try another one. This one you will need a calculator. So break out your calculator. Oh, and this is numeric. This is not multiple choice. This is numeric. Okay, protein folding can be represented by the following equation. Unfolded to folded, and vice versa, right? That's a double-sided arrow. If the values of delta H, what does H refer to? Entropy or enthalpy? Enthalpy. And S refers to entropy. For the folding of a protein R, and we give you values, what is the value of delta G for folding at 25 degrees Celsius? I don't think we're going to get through all my questions. I can make a video with the rest of them if y'all want. Or we can see what we finish on Friday. If we don't finish them on Friday, I'll make a video with them. Can't answer that right now. They said, was it supposed to be in Kelvin or stay in Celsius? Can't answer that right now. Okay, raise your hand if you need more time.
Yeah, goddamn eternity will be good.
Okay.
To find the formula for this thing.
Some of these formulas you should have memorized.
I do, but then I don't trust myself, so
We all have to work on trusting ourselves. That's a big one.
I can't purchase. My memory is the most finicky thing ever. I remember the dumbest shit I learned from when I was 10 years old. And I can't remember the formulas I need to save my life.
I know. So we all struggle with that. All right, so I'll give y'all about 20 more seconds. So I guess 4 minutes, 30 seconds, I'm calling it. What are we listening to now? I can't tell. We can hear for those of you at home, we can hear the music from the quad from Welcome Back Day. FYI. Okay, 4 minutes, 30 seconds. That's when I said I was going to call it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so, okay, golly, we got kind of a range there. Okay, so you should have gotten negative 34.5. I think I did see that.
Just give me a second, I gotta
Negative
write this down.
34.5. We got one person.
Yeah.
Are they're different? Let's see.
Yeah.
Wait, let me scroll up. Where? Negative 30. Oh, well, that's close. That was close. Negative 34.58. Okay, yeah.
It just depends on how you round it.
Yeah. Negative 35. Yeah. That's those would all round to the same answer.
There was a negative 34.6.
Was there?
Yeah.
There. Okay. Thank you. All right. So the answer to your question is yes, you have to convert to Kelvin. Why do you have to convert to Kelvin?
Because Kelvin is like the, it's like, I don't know, it's like the, because the thing that they have to, I don't know, because it's the most precise and like, because that's the most precise form of measurement for temperature or something along those lines.
Well, that's why we use Kelvin, but why do we have to convert in this question? Because our other values have what? Kelvin. So if you use Celsius, you're not going to cancel out your units. You have to make sure your units cancel out. Yes, sir.
So whenever you get like the delta H, delta S,
Yes. Yes.
How do you get 235?
How do you get 235?
I get a 235.
It keeps covering the thing. I don't know how to move the mouse and not. Every time I move the mouse. Okay. What y'all got?
They were asking how you got 235.
Uh-huh.
Because they got like a really big number.
Because I converted and just wrote, I just didn't write in my conversion. But yes, you do, because this is shown here in joules, but this answer is in kilojoules. So you have to convert this one to kilojoules and then do your math. Why don't you convert to joules? You could convert everything to joules, and then your answer would be in joules per mole, or you could convert everything to kilojoules, and your answer would be in kilojoules per mole. So it doesn't matter which one you pick, so long as your answer has the correct units. And what I put here for the units, I think I was covering it with the chat, I apologize, is that I put kilojoules. Okay, I'm sorry, I think my chat was covering that.
We can't see your chat.
Oh, you can't see the chat?
I can.
But on the, oh, so when you're zooming, you don't see the chat. Okay, that's great. That's great. But when you look on the board, you do see it. Okay, so shouldn't it be negative? Yes, it should be negative. Your answer should be negative. Is that what you were asking? No. What should be negative?
The negative from the minus and the negative for the delta S cancel out. That's why it's written as positive. I think that's.
I can't, like it goes over, stop it. So this and this, a negative times a negative makes a positive. Good? All right. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make this stop. Anybody know? While I stand here and erase. Let's see. Is it a setting? Or no. Captions, point on notes.
I think it's just one of those things that you have.
I think exit ends it. I don't want to end it. Okay. So here's another numeric one for you. All right. So in the same problem, so this is like part B. In degrees Celsius, at what temperature would the unfolding become favorable? We ended at 40 or 35? Does class end at 40 or 35?
40.
40, okay.
So for this, is the G supposed to be that answer we got in the first part or something?
You might need your answer from part A for this second part, yeah. Okay, I think we're probably getting pretty close. So I'll
No,
call
I'm
it
not
at
getting
4.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes, I'll call it. You know what I might do for a numeric thing? I could like say, ring in A once you have an answer. Because that way everybody could tell me and I could keep track of who was done and who was not done. Might do that. Okay. All right, so yeah, we got a big range. Okay. So what should you have? Go away. 68 degrees Celsius. 68 degrees Celsius. So what you have to do, how do you know?
Where does 0 come from?
So where did the 0 come from? That's the big question. Where did the 0 come from? It comes from knowing that when delta G is 0, that the reaction is going to become spontaneous. It will also be spontaneous at all the negative values as well, but 0 is the temperature where you have that change from being unfavorable to favorable. So that's knowing that delta G is 0 is a big thing. I put it in Kelvin.
Yeah,
Well,
I got 68.8.
You got 68.8. Okay. Did I do my math wrong? Did y'all get 68.8? 68.62, so rounds to 69. Okay, so maybe I didn't round properly. It's been known to happen. Okay. Yeah, should be 69. Okay. My bad. Should be 69. Y'all call me out on it. Call me out on it. Absolutely, because you know I'm going to call you out on it. So it's okay. I can take it. All right, let's try another one. You can go back on the video and you can get it. Okay. All right. So a reaction. Oh, this is multiple choice. A reaction is always spontaneous if, knowing what you know now, give me an answer. All right, I'm going to call it at, I guess, a minute. I'll call it. So what did we say? Good. Good, good, good. The change in free energy, delta G, is negative. So what happens when delta G is 0? Because we talked about positive, talked about negative. 0 is the transition between the two. Okay? So negative, we know we're always going to be spontaneous. Positive, we know we're going to be non-spontaneous. And 0 is the transition from one to the other. Okay? All right. Oh, this is a complicated one. This is a good one. It's numeric. How much time do we have? Yeah, we could do this.
3 minutes.
Last one. Last one.
Yeah, I'm gonna need like half an hour.
Y'all want to save this one for next time? We'll start with this one next time. All right, we'll start with this one next time. Y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday. I hope this has helped. Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is.
It's Wednesday.
Look, that's a great for me. I thought it was Tuesday. It's Wednesday. It's great. All right, y'all have a good afternoon. Be safe. We'll start with this one next time. All right, anybody on the chat need anything? Yeah? Yes, Hannah, hang on.
So the lab quiz.
The lab quiz. Yes, yes. The safety one.
So I have all of them right except for the positions in the room, like the window, and the hole.
You can take it as many times as you want.
I did it like 6 times, and I keep on changing it, and it always said I'm getting 2 right. And I thought that that's how it was. The format was in the room.
Other people have gotten them all right. Bring it to lab.
Okay.
Bring it to lab.
Okay.
Just bring it to lab, and when we get a little bit of downtime, I'll help you with
Okay. Thank you.
it. Yep. Every good? What you got?
So I got the ebook,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't show the homework in it.
Well, no, I didn't assign any homework,
Like I can't even see practice problems. It's my problem.
but I didn't assign any. I don't know how that works. I don't know how the online system works.
Like I can see it, but I have to purchase it for $40.
If I assigned you homework, you would probably have to purchase it for $40 anyway.
Okay.
So these are like homework problems. That's what we're doing in class.
Okay.
That's why I flipped the class, so that y'all could watch lectures and do homework, and you wouldn't have to pay for a whole nother homework system.
Well, that's
and
why I was asking you because I didn't want to spend the $40, but I didn't need to.
I don't think you need to, because
Okay.
we're doing math problems, we're doing discussion problems. I mean,
So I can
you've
study
got
from this.
and you've got
and I'll be fine.
self-check.
You basically give us everything we need. Is what you're saying.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'm
I
really
just
trying
wanted to
to.
ask before I spent $40.
Yeah, no, that's why I feel like y'all spend enough money.
Yeah, definitely. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So see how the first exam goes,
Okay.
and this should prepare you pretty well.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. What you got?
So this is so far my lab. My lab.
Uh-huh.
It's the lab before and all that stuff.
Okay.
So this is still fine. Like,
Yeah.
so it's still fine. I still take a little lab, little test first on
The safety test.
the safety quiz.
Yep. You still have to take the safety quiz.
Yep. Okay, guys.
Good.
Understood.
All right.
Well, I'll prepare for the others.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, Hannah, hang on. Let me do to where I can see you more. I want to see my video panel. Maybe if I hide it and show it again. Show video panel. Oh, I'm hiding it here. Okay. Okay, Hannah. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's so
Okay, wait, I don't hear you. Wait, it's me. It's me. Hold on. I'm learning all this new stuff. Okay, try it.
hey.
I don't have sound. Hold on. What am I doing wrong? I have my volume all the way up. It's like maxed out on red. Try it now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, finally.
Okay. Okay, so I have like a couple of questions. I guess first is with this class. So I understand the physiology of things. So
There's a lot of, wait, say that again. There's a lot of what?
I understand a lot of like the physiology of things. Like I went through everything with mechanism wise and like, for example, the drug interactions of like how our bodies formulate everything. So my question is, these calculations is where I'm really stuck because I didn't really have a great background of these calculations.
Okay.
So what kind of advice, because I read the book's not really helpful. Do you have any kind of advice for these like formulas? Like I'm even stuck on the equilibrium parts.
Yes. So actually, what I can do is I can recommend, because a lot of that stuff you should have covered in like probably the second chemistry, but
Not
it's okay. It's okay.
the professor.
It's okay. So I'm gonna recommend Khan Academy.
Okay.
Because you can go into like their regular chemistry and you can pull, and what I'll try to do is I'll try to go in and find some relevant ones for you. Okay. And then if you come to a topic where you're like, oh, that's basic chemistry stuff, you can search for some, but I know you're looking for equilibrium. I know you're looking for thermodynamics.
I'm just looking for the fundamentals of it so that I can build up on it. And that's my problem, is that I'm stuck here so that I'm not being able to come up here to, with these calculations and all. I had no idea what to do.
Yep. Okay. So that's okay. So it's just, that is something we can absolutely fix. Absolutely. Okay. So you just have to spend a little more time.
That's okay.
and I will give you direction on where to go. Like this is stuff that I even covered when I taught AP Chem in high school.
Yeah, I went to a high school that wasn't like college prep. It was really like the hardest thing that we had to do was name compounds. So
oh wow,
wasn't like tested on all of this. So I really wasn't prepared for college in my undergrad. I already graduated and I came back because but like that, and then not having Dal was very sweet and all, but he just was not the
content wise.
Like, yeah, it was just a very stuck situation. And so I'll definitely look into Khan Academy. And if you have any recommendations of like specific videos, if you don't mind, because I think all of us together as a class, especially like everybody's answers were very wide range different.
Yeah. I'm writing myself a note right now.
Okay.
Go and kind of pick some out. So I want to go Khan Academy. So y'all definitely need equilibrium. Y'all definitely need thermo. Yes. So delta G, delta T, delta S.
And the only thing I got out of organic chemistry last semester was the entropy, enthalpy. The delta at G is spontaneous when it's negative, non-spontaneous. That's all I picked up.
Well, that's a good start. That's a good start.
Yeah. Okay, so also the second thing, pertaining to the lab, I am in group A, and I have emailed, and as well as some other students have emailed Dr. Smith. And we're not getting a response from him. And I mean, I emailed him yesterday, which is kind of like, I'm still waiting, but some of them have emailed him like days before and still no response. We have no idea what on earth he wants for the, if you want, I can share my screen and kind of show you. Okay.
Please do. Let me stop my share, because I don't know if you can share if I'm sharing.
Yeah.
My security share screen. Okay. You should be able to do it now. Oh, let me end my my clicker class. Okay. And Hannah, I'm gonna stop the recording too.
Yeah, that's fine.
So and I'll cut this off before I post it. Maybe I'll stop it. Let me see. I don't know how to stop it. I'll cut it off.
That's okay. Do you see my screen?
Yep, I see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So right here, this area here, we understand what he wants in this area. So we understand the formatting of a lab report. What we're confused about is this and this here. Like, does he want the calculations separate out of the lab report? Does he want them both in the report and in here? Or does he not want the calculations at all in the report and just wants them in here? And then what on earth is this? Like, is this the post-lab question
This is
there?
the post-lab question. So if you watch, let me wait, let me write this down. Let me write down your question, and then I'm going to show you something. So hang on. So
Okay.
he has a report area, he has a calc area, problem set, and then he has the PDF of the lab. Okay.
Oh, the boot camp. Yeah, the
Right.
lab.
Okay. So I don't know about where he wants the calculations. I can chat with him. Send me an email so I have something to respond back to, but I'll go track him down and I'll ask him that.
Okay, because it's due and
Yeah. And I had asked for mine inside of my lab report. And I'd like for us to all, for he and I to expect the same things from y'all. And so if that needs to be different, I need to know.
Right.
So I will ask. For me, I wanted it inside the report.
Okay.
All I wanted was one example and then like your answers for everything else.
Okay.
So let me share my screen with you for a second because I want to share something.
So stop share. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to go to Moodle. Well, maybe I'm going to go to Moodle.
You can do it. It's okay.
I'm going to try. Okay, so this is what I put for my kiddos. Oh, that's the first lab reading. Here, lab report instructions.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is,
We have that, but in a different format.
You
It's
have-
just like, yeah, we have a rubric. It's just the itself, like, does he want it in separate?
so the post-lab problem set should be a separate, this is a separate assignment.
Right.
Right.
So that's the additional problem set.
On page 32 and 35.
Page 32 and 35. And this is the post-lab question.
And I guess I need to put a thing up if kids want to submit electronically. I was anticipating everybody would hand it to me.
So he has it as turning in, and he really didn't specify on.
I know he wants you to hand him, if you're going to turn it in by paper, you're going to hand him two things. One is the lab report that's stapled, and one is the additional post-lab and problem sets. But
What about the calculations?
I thought they were inside of the lab report, but I don't know if he wants that separate. So I will ask him that. I'll track it down and I'll find out today.
What do we do if we're not on campus? Like, what if, like, so for example, this Thursday we're going through Lab Master. We're not going to be meeting. So how is
If
that?
you're in group A, you should be meeting this week.
We met last week and he told us that we're not meeting this week.
If you're in A, you're face-to-face this week. If you're in B, you're online this week and face-to-face next week.
He told us opposite.
Really?
Because we met last week.
I'm going to ask him that too.
Maybe, yeah, just to clarify, because like all the students think we're going through
Because
Lab Master.
if you go to my,
Or I may be
So
getting it opposite, but other students think we're going through Lab Master.
Labster.
Labster.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's A-okay. Did I have it
Okay.
here? So here. So what I have is, this is our first week, right? And both groups, last week was both groups, right?
Okay, well then we're meeting. Okay, I feel a lot better.
2 is A. This is my class though.
I like this like organization that you have. Okay. I like it a lot. Okay.
He and I are going to try and do things exactly the same. So
Yeah.
I'm going to double check with him what group is face-to-face this Friday,
Okay.
this week.
So we are meeting. Okay.
I believe A is meeting this week.
Okay. So Thursday we're meeting. Perfect. And so everything I would be printing and putting online, I'm guessing. If it's okay,
Yeah.
I'll email you and ask you that. And so you can kind of track him down, because some students said that they emailed him and he wasn't responding. So I'm just kind of worried about that.
Okay. So yes, send me everything you want to know, and I'm actually going to go up there later today. So I will.
It's no rush, and just whenever you can email me, it's no rush at all.
Okay. Well, you need to know before you go to lab.
I know, just by today if it's okay. But
Yes, I'm definitely going to get
later today, like 9 o'clock, whatever it is, whatever's easier.
I promise, as soon as I know, and I'll and if you pass that around to the students who
Yes,
you know are asking. 'Cause
that's
I can post an announcement in my class, but I can't post an announcement for his class.
that's
I can
okay.
say, hey guys, don't forget, Group A is going to be in the lab this week. Bring your whatever, you know.
Okay.
So whatever I come up with from him, I'm going to post an announcement in my class. So if you know somebody who's taking my section,
Okay.
right, they'll have the announcement, but I'll send it to you as well.
Okay. I have my stuff. I have my planner. So I'm like making sure like I'm going. So I am going on the right days. Okay. It's going to be good.
If you want my syllabus, I can send you my syllabus. If you want
If
my
that's
lab
okay
write-up,
with you, this color coordinating and like,
that's
it's more helpful.
that's me. That's just our different personalities.
So, just whenever you have time, it's no rush. I'll definitely email you.
Okay, awesome. Yes, send it to me right away, and that way I'll tackle it. I think I have a meeting at 1, but after that I'm good.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay.
Of course, of course.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
Have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you.